Pokemon randomizers are chaotic. In some kinds of randomizers, every Pokemon encounter is random. In other kinds, every warp zone connects to a different area. Mystery Dungeon randomizers, however, combine both of them. I randomize Explorers with Sky so that everything in the game is completely changed. Every dungeon now has completely randomized Pokemon, movesets, items, and even floor layouts, meaning that everything is completely out of control. This is about to get chaotic. To start off, we need to answer a few questions to determine our starter. Let's just say we have some, well, questionable results. Hey! Anyways, our starter was Jigglypuff, and our partner had to be Lord Helix. However, this turned out to be a huge mistake. Jigglypuff had only 12 HP for some reason. And oh, did I mention that you can encounter monster houses in every dungeon? Jigglypuff stood no chance. So I started another save, and this time I struck jackpot. I got Swampert, which had Silverwind, and Blaziken, which had Storm Drain as its ability. We were able to breeze past the first dungeon and join Bronzor's guild or something, you know, just like in the original story. For the early game, we were even able to get through monster houses safely because of the low power level, but that didn't necessarily mean that we were safe. Oh god, discharge. No. Huh? Huh? Fissure? Besides this, we also started to face a new problem. Items. Since every item was random, we weren't able to get Oran Berries or Reviver Seeds, items that basically preserved your life. For longer dungeons, PP also became an issue since we couldn't get any max elixirs. Oh, and to make things worse, unusable items can also spawn in place of the original item, so we might not even have items to use in the first place. Since I really couldn't do much about the situation, I just took it on the chin and focused on sprinting for the stairs for every single floor. And for the most part, it worked. Well, until Apple Woods, or Neat Hut. 12 floors of strong opponents, monster houses, and Perish Song. It took me 4 tries just to clear it. Up next was the Guild Expedition, and we got paired with Combee, who enraged a Cascoon and made me white out, but for the most part was quite decent. We had a pretty good run going ahead for the next few dungeons, where I only fainted once to a monster house before we faced the Guardian of Fogbound Lake, Espeon, which wasn't really anything scary, but the lake itself surely was a spectacle. For the next few dungeons ahead, there was a common trend where we were starting to get much higher level than the Pokemon around, but still got overrun due to a lack of HP and PP restoring items. After many resets though, we managed to defeat Carvania and Slowbro at Luxurious Court to get the water float. Continuing on with the story, the guild starts locating the other 2 time gears, so we defeat the Guardian of the Underground Lake, Cleffa. We then prevent Vaporeon from stealing the final gear at Crystal Lake. Just like before, the boss fights were a complete pushover. By this point, I started to exploit a specific item, the Rare Fossil, which is ironic because it's literally found in every dungeon. While most throwing items were all quite common, the Rare Fossil was unique. It did a fixed damage of 100, which basically mean it was a one-hit KO if it hit. The other thing was that it was completely glitched in shops. The Rare Fossil cannot be bought normally, so when it spawns in the shop, it becomes glitched and is completely free. By exploiting this, we can quickly stock up on a lot of rare fossils. Having a ranged super weapon on hand was pretty useful in some dire situations. Anywho, Butterfree managed to capture Vaporeon and was about to bring him back to the future, but turns out Butterfree was the imposter all along, and no one voted him out! We get dragged into the future and barely escape, but we needed to get through 4 dungeons in order to return to the present time. In a normal playthrough, these few dungeons was where the difficulty curve started to increase, but this time, everything went our way. Well, until we found out that Shiftry replaced Celebi. God, please help me, this is so painful. Thankfully, we didn't have to suffer much longer from this cursed Pokemon and returned to the present time. Our first dungeon back in the current day was Dark Bayou, the only 24 dungeon in the entire story. And what you're seeing now is over 3 hours of footage sped up of going through the same dungeon over and over again. A 20-floor dungeon poses many problems. First and foremost, PP. With monster houses everywhere, silver 1 PP runs out very fast, and without it, monster houses are practically impossible. Another annoyance around were traps. While most traps were small things, such as some damage, warping you, or maybe even confusing your teammates, grudge traps were the worst one out there, since you lose all PP on at least one move for each Pokemon that you defeat with a grudge. Oh, and if a teammate falls into a pitfall trap, it's just game over. Despite having so many hurdles, around an hour in, I got this run.
Oh, for f***'s sakes, dude. I think I'm actually out of silver wins. Yeah, that's really sad. Oh my god, why you have silver win? Hey yo, what the f, dude? No, 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 no. If Vaporeon dies here, I'm actually quitting. Okay, that's it. Thanks for tuning in the stream. We're not doing this no more. We're not doing this anymore. It's rigged. It's f***ing rigged.
With just one more floor to go, I lost to a monster house because I didn't have enough PP for Silverwind. Navigating through this dungeon takes some extreme luck, as we have to encounter the minimum amount of monster houses and traps and hope that we spawn next to the stairs. This repetitive process of hoping to get a good run completely burned me out. So the next day, I attempted it again, and after an hour or so, I finally got myself a good run. 13 floors in, and I had a healthy amount of PP left. I managed to get 4 easy floors in a row, then bumped into a Magikarp, which used Magnitude 10. Thankfully, it did nothing even to a Blaziken. We also got lucky on the same floor with a Roserade missing Fury Swipes, but then on the final floor, a monster house. This time, I still had a few silver wins left, and with the help of Storm Drain absorbing some moves from Combuskin, we took the Pokemon down one by one. And just like that, after 17 whiteouts and over 3 hours of attempts, we found the final steps and cleared the dungeon. With Vaporeon gathering all the time gears, we then went through the gigantic gully with the help of the guild, and beat Meowth and Minun to find a weird looking Lapras to take us to the Ornate Convent. Shame the cutscenes couldn't be randomized though. Luckily, the next few dungeons all had checkpoints, so it was a lot less painful. However, multi-hit attacks such as Triple Kick still caused a few whiteouts for us. These moves are definitely too broken. We moved on and got stopped by Butterfree and his goons of Girafarig again, but we had a good move pool that countered them completely. Vaporeon sacrificed himself to take Butterfree down, leading us to climb up Nautical Domain to restore time flow. Once again, Furrets were quite scary because of Petal Dance, and also there were a few monster houses, but we made it to the halfway mark scratchless. The second half didn't have many threatening Pokemon, but we did get trolled by a heavily booby-trapped room. With a stroke of luck, we walk up the final set of stairs for the fight to the finish. Facing us was the Protector of Time Gears, Ruler of Time, Honchkrow. Yeah. We were doing quite well in the fight, and in the spirit of the randomizer, I wanted to use Metronome to finish it off.
To finish off the game?
Toxic, okay.
I guess not. Metronome again? Dream Eater? Oh, okay, it doesn't work. Come on, Metronome. Give me a good move. Damn it! Damn it!
I guess it wasn't meant to be. But just like that, I finally beat a completely randomized version of Explorers of Sky in just over 14 hours. Would I recommend you to do it? No! Well, unless if you want to punish yourself, which in that case, feel free to do so. If you want to see more content, be sure to head over to my Twitch to see me do these live. I'll be streaming a lot of Legends of Arceus content when this video is out, so feel free to stop by the stream and basically chill with me. Thanks for watching!